Hello, everyone. Welcome to Full TIMEOUT Podcast. I'm your host, Ari Bruckman. Joining us this week, our special guest has over 15,000 followers on Instagram and over 190,000 followers on TikTok. He continues to inspire hundreds of thousands of people to not only be the best versions of themselves, but also in the weight room by changing their physique, changing their mindset, and allowing others to see the value that they possess. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our special guest this week, PonyBoi, Derek De La Fuentes. Derek, how we doing, man?
Doing good, brother.
Great to have you on here.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Most definitely. For those who don't know you, and before we get into the backstory and kind of how you got to where you were, tell me, PonyBoi, how you got that name and why that name is so unique. Tell me how that encompasses what you're about.
For sure, brother. A cousin of mine, she gave me that name after I dyed my hair blonde. I have seen the movie and I have read the book from back in school. So I've always been kind of a sweetheart. Always been real kind-hearted, so it kind of goes with the character and everything. So, but the name was given to me by my cousin.
That's super cool. So we can take people back so they get a little bit more of an understanding, kind of how you got the following you have and kind of what you're about now. But let's go back to some of the experiences that you experienced that got you into the gym and ultimately, caused you to change the trajectory of where you were going with your life.
The gym has always been kind of a passion for me. I started workouts when I was really young, doing them in the mirror before school. And when I would do them, I used to think that, when I go to school tomorrow, I'm going to be the biggest kid there from my push-ups and whatnot. After that, like when I got a little older, when I hit about 18, 19, I started going to this little gym in my aunt's apartment complex, and used to hit the weights there. They used to have a little bit of free weights, do what I could with it. My dieting was horrible back then. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I was putting in the work for it. Started to develop a little body. I also got into bodybuilders, looking at bodybuilders. I really admired the physique, the muscle. I remember my step pops back in the day when he got out of prison. He used to have a chest and whatnot. He used to pop his chest. So I used to always admire muscle. Always wanted that. And then nowadays, like, it's been about 2 years of consistency. Just being in the gym, the atmosphere is amazing. You get to meet a lot of great people, a lot of uplifting people. That really inspired me to want to compete. A lot of people would say, hey, do you compete, or you ever think about competing? I was like, no, but finally it clicked in my mind. Might as well go for it and try it. See what it's all about.
The gym, it allows you, as a lot of people who have been following the podcast know, I bring this up, but it allows you that one-on-one battle, right, with yourself. It's only the times when we start to compare our journey to others that we find ourselves getting bitter. I find it so awesome and empowering that you've used your journey to, and you do this on your TikTok, you do this on some of your other platforms as well, on Instagram, but to highlight if somebody does contribute some sort of negativity or some comparison within your journey to theirs, you find a way to recenter it, right? And to allow them to say, you know what, I appreciate that. Wherever you're at, I want you to know it's still possible for you to get to where I'm at. And so I think that that's really important. Why was that important for you that you use that, and how has that helped you with your own healing and being able to be a source of inspiration for others?
I always kind of had this mindset of living for myself and giving the best I can. Not really worried about other people's opinions of me. If I'm going to do something in life, I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to enjoy the process and do my best for it. You really can't let other people's jealousy, negativity get in the way of our goals, you know what I mean? At the same time, I have experienced being jealous or envious of people in my time, so I can see from both sides. And we do grow from that, you know what I mean? We do learn how to use the envy in the right way. Congratulate people when they're doing good instead of trying to tear them down. It should be something that inspires you to want to be better. A lot of people, they don't want to go into their goals or their dreams because they feel like they're going to fail, get laughed at, or people are going to doubt them. You just got to keep moving forward. You got to do it for you and know that those words those people are throwing at you are that small, you know what I mean, compared to your big goal. So throw it out the window, keep moving forward, and keep doing your thing, and you're born to shine for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. One of the things, too, that I'm going to run with there for a second is this idea that there is that fear of failure. Right. And even if that's being projected in a way that, it seems it's like bullying or whatever the case may be, depending on, your frame of reference and that sort of thing, that internal dialogue you have with yourself, if it is, I'm just going to fail, or look at all the mistakes that I've made, you're never going to allow yourself to reach what you're capable of doing and achieving. How have you been able to help yourself? What are some of the things that you've told yourself or still tell yourself about how you're able to approach a new workout or something new in your life that you've allowed yourself to be confident about now instead of having that fear of failure kind of run you?
Just knowing that I'm going to grow from it. Even if I fail first time, there's always another chance. There's always a way of getting better at things. Just like now, I keep my mind open to new ways of working out, new ways of progressing. Even though we feel like we're doing pretty good, there's always a new way, always a way to advance yourself. In all, failure is actually a way to advance yourself. So it's actually a good thing that we experience those moments. Without that, we would just continue to move within comfort. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. One of the things too is when we talk specifically about failure, what was that turning point for you in your life where you said, I don't know if I'm going to be this big inspiration to others, but something has to change for myself. I got to make this change. What was that point, and kind of what were you saying to yourself as you were going through that?
You know what? This has all been a big calling to me. It really took a very low moment, which I came across a lot of low moments in my life. The final one, that was it. I was at a very low moment. I was on a come down, and I was fed up with it. I have children, so I have kids that rely on me. I have a wife, and she relies on me as well. So it was time for me to step up. It was time for me to stop failing and allow myself to fail. That right there was a big push, feeling so empty inside, so alone, and feeling like there was no hope. It was time for a change. And one of the ways during this process was to help others, to reconnect with my old self, which my old self has always been a very kind-hearted person. If someone was alone, I was always there for them if they needed someone to talk to. Going through like a stage in my life, which was like pretty much a decade of drug usage, really changed my heart, and it turned it black. It really disconnected me from life and myself, and I truly lost myself for a long time. Discovered it with alcohol and drugs. Once I was able to be fed up with it, enough is enough. It was game over. It was all positivity from there. And I used to look down upon positivity back then. When you're in a negative state of mind, you're like, oh, that's stupid, or you don't really truly believe that kind of stuff. And once you start believing, it's game over. It's all uphill for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I took that low moment, and I was laying there one night, and this is right after my last come down. I was laying there one night, and I was like, you know what, babe? I'm going to try to help people. I'm going to get online and start posting like positivity. And if anyone needs to talk, they can come talk to me. We started that, and it just kept building and building, and it kept building me as well. And I got to learn a lot more about myself and reconnect with my old heart in that process. And I always felt like I could be a lot more, you know what I mean? Ever since I was young, I could be a lot more than this town. I could help a lot more people. So yeah, brother, it took some very, very low moments to reach higher mountains, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so you mentioned, and you don't have to name it specifically, but you small town in California. Can you give maybe an idea about, did that have something to do with your limit at first that you put on yourself? Were there a ton of positive people there growing up?
There is some positive people here in this town.
Okay.
Not saying like social media wise, but there are good parts of this town that have a lot of uplifting people. And one of the most positive people I've met has came from like very low areas. It was a buddy of mine, and he was older than me, and he wasn't doing the best in life. Rest in peace, he passed away. He was going through a lot of hard moments in his life, and this is back when I was drinking a lot too. And he used to never give up hope on me, tell me I was better than this. He used to always back me up on my dreams, things I would speak about that I wasn't moving on yet, but I'd speak about things I wanted to do. And he used to wake up 5 a.m. every day, always had a smile, always real happy to see somebody, always real kind. He didn't have the best life, you know what I mean? I don't want to go into detail, on his past, but it was a very, very dark past. And I was thinking to myself, how does someone like this, at his age now, able to still smile, able to still give his best? It was all positivity for him, you know what I mean? He had a routine with his positivity, and it felt like the more love he gave back, the better he felt about himself, you know what I mean? So
No, that's great, man. Anybody who's willing to, regardless of where they are, they're giving you that moral support, or they're showing you support in another way. That's always something that is big in terms of your ability to grow and evolve as a person. When you think about other people in your life, before you had met your wife, before you had your kids, was there anybody that you looked to as far as inspiration that, you said, I'm not where I want to be, but this person, this is somebody that is doing what I want to do. Maybe I can learn from them just by watching, even if it wasn't somebody you actually knew personally.
a lot of fitness people in the industry. such as like Rich Piana, anybody that was pretty successful on YouTube at the time, I would look up to, especially with the fitness goals. And a lot of my inspirations and stuff came from people that were closer to me. My step pops being one of them. It's people that been through some hard times in their life, so that I could learn what not to do, so I could advance myself. Because a lot of these people don't want people to go down the same path that they went. They want you to understand, their mistakes and learn and grow from them. And I always took that into perspective. Always ran with that. So people that went through really tough moments in their life have always been a very big inspiration to me, because you really can't appreciate the real positive feeling and positivity without experiencing the real negative side to life as well, because then you get a better understanding and a better appreciation for it. Yeah, it's definitely people like that. Of course, I used to listen to a lot of rock, a lot of music, Slipknot, Korn, and people like that had like really rough upbringings. Through their music, inspired me to want to be better within myself. So music played a big part in my journey as well.
Yeah, I noticed that, when we can kind of segue over, I feel like that's a great transition into your content now and what you've been able to do as far as present, opportunity for other people to tap into you and who you are, right? And not necessarily what your past was about, but who you are now and how you're going to be in the future in terms of giving them positive advice in the gym or inspiration or motivation or shouting them out. And I see all the comments, right? All of the people who are thanking you, man. And there's something about that I'm sure is rewarding for you. When you think about it and the kind of impact you've been able to have now, talk to me about what the best part of that is and, how that's inspired you or continues to inspire you to keep going.
The best part is knowing that someone is rebuilding themselves. And that also creates a positive ripple within other people when they see those kind of comments. Hey, I could do this too, you know what I mean? That is the most rewarding, more than anything, more than money, money's just material, and it causes a lot of evil within people, so I don't really try to associate my life with a bunch of money or anything like that. It's about the kind-heartedness and the real reality of people saving themselves. I put this out there for them, a kind message throughout the day. One kind message could really change a life, for sure. People deserve to know that they're worth it. You're not worthless. You're not born just to die. You're not born just to be worthless. So while you're here, just like the stars in the universe, get your shine on, for sure. You know what I mean? You're part of this universe. You definitely have a value about you. And like a lot of people get trapped within a depressed mind, and I totally understand that. We think very low about ourselves sometimes, but the fact is that there's something that you're good at that you haven't discovered. So keep discovering yourself, keep pushing yourself, and fitness is a great way to push yourself and discover a lot about yourself, your growth, outside of just building muscle and the vanity part. It's a lot of building on the inside, showing up on the days that you don't want to show up, putting in the work and the effort for yourself. It just builds a forward momentum that you so deserve to have. That's what's rewarding to me, knowing that someone out there is rebuilding themselves, coming from a broken place, so for sure, brother.
Most definitely, man. So tell me, is there one, because I see all the people who have reached out, is there one comment or a DM that you can think of that sticks out from the rest in terms of, hey man, like you've really helped change my life, save my life? Is there any one in particular that comes to mind that you've interacted with, even if it wasn't in the comments, maybe they DM'd you?
Thank you for making this my safe spot.
And why was that so powerful? What hit home about that specifically?
Oof, makes me want to choke up. Just life's rough, bro, for some people. So it feels good to know that it sucks to feel suicidal and alone, So I understand. So shit. I told myself before this that I wouldn't choke up and shit, but here I go choking up. Big old softy at heart sometimes. But there's kids that take their lives, So
Well, hey man, what you're doing and your ability to, again, set the example, right? They're not worried about what PonyBoi or Derek used to do. They're worried about what he's doing now and how that's going to be able to be something that they can use to better themselves. And I think that's what makes any platform, any social media that gives you that wide audience that makes that so much more rewarding. And it's really an incredible opportunity for us as creators to influence the next generation or just anybody, right? It doesn't even have to be somebody younger, older, whatever the case may be. Now that you have this incredible following, how has that changed the way that you feel like your responsibility as a content creator is now?
A lot more busy, putting my best foot forward more, being more creative, working harder on my body. So as they're working, I'm working as well. So that every time I appear on camera, I'm advancing to really prove the point that you can advance and keep moving forward and keep going. So even though it's hard sometimes, because it's like I get tired too, I that right there drives me. And so I just keep pushing harder. But now I'm not so choked up. I like to go back to that last comment, that kind of comment, because I get a lot of people that are suicidal or close to suicide. And I have talked one-on-one with people. I even had group chats for people to, have a safe spot. And I know what it's like to feel suicidal. I used to self-harm a lot. I don't do that anymore. It's been some years. I even attempted on my life a few times. And I've been saved by people, pulled me off of the freeway when I was sitting there trying to get hit by cars or whoop-de-whoop, or people came in when I was trying to overdose, and helped me out, things like that. So that kind of comment right there touches my heart a lot because the content I create is to help rebuild people from wherever you're coming from, and especially the ones that have fallen very, very far. And I want them to know that I'm also in the dark with you, and we could definitely get to the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? So I don't mind staying right here in this dark realm because there's a lot of people that need saving, and that's what I want to do until the day I'm gone. Is help, is give the best I can, and right now, this is the most I could do, and I'm hoping to advance to help out a lot more on a bigger scale. So I'm always working towards that bigger goal, and I know life will definitely send me to the place I need to be to help. So like it already has. When people tell me things like that, that always chokes me up and always keeps me humble, always reassures me that what I'm doing is the right thing. So being a content creator takes up like pretty much all of my day, but this is what I'm giving my life to outside of just working a 9 to 5, you know what I mean? Which there's no problem with working a 9 to 5. Definitely get your grind on, you know what I mean, for whatever your goal is. I want people to know that no matter what, you put the grind in and you'll get the reward at the end, for sure, as long as you don't give up and keep moving forward. I'm very sorry I choked up. I always, when I talk about suicidal situations, I always get really choked up because it sucks, seeing people take their own lives, and when they could have stayed, there could have been a lot more for them.
First of all, you don't have to apologize, right, for being emotional, being raw, being authentic, right? I think that's a lost art now, and I say it's an art because we have so many different ways that we can display ourselves now that we never have to show this side. And this side then becomes the scary and the unknown because just as people, we fear what we can't understand or what we don't know. And then you can't be mad at those people, right? Because they don't know what they don't know. So this gives them a chance, right? So your ability to be transparent is everything. So don't apologize for that, man. You're good. But yeah, like you said, I mean, look, when it comes to life in general, every life is valuable. But one thing that I do keep in my mind is that not everybody shares the same value of life the way I see it, right? Or the way you see it. And I think that's really important because then it makes the conversation where they mess up your drink at Starbucks, or they mess up your hot dog at a baseball game, instead of going crazy because of whatever you think you've accomplished or how much money you have or how many people know who you are, you don't know what the other person's going through, or you don't know the person on the other end of that transaction is thinking or anything like that. You just always want to have that humble, positive approach that allows people to be themselves, right? Like you do and like you're doing on your platforms. And so that to me is everything.
That was going to be my next point is keeping, like, instead of being mad at the person for saying a negative thing, sometimes that's how people deal with, their own issues at home or this and that. That's why I don't take offense to that kind heart, having an understanding that maybe that person needs help or they're having a rough day, that's what it's all about. You can't fight hate with hate, definitely maybe that kind response back might change them. And a lot of people have came back on the comment section and apologized for the mean things they said. I was going through a rough day, or you're actually a pretty cool person, so just want people to know that, that kind heart thing is a really good keeper to have, in your chamber, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. What is one thing you could give to someone whether they're struggling or looking for guidance and they're searching for somebody outside of their family or their inner circle, what's one thing you say that they could do that would help them?
Building a routine for yourself builds confidence within yourself. Today, instead of just wandering around throughout the days, set little goals to build that momentum, and that creates a better person out of you by the end of the day. You feel so much better, if you start your morning off with, hey, I'm going to go for like a 30-minute jog, and you accomplish it, you feel great, you know what I mean? And then it's just from there, you got a more positive attitude about yourself, building confidence slowly but surely. And you keep this up, and then like, say if it's fitness, you keep this up, and then your body's getting built, and you're getting feeling a lot better about what you're seeing in the mirror, or you're getting close to your other goals. That's when the confidence really kicks in. And that's my advice to people, is to create little routines for yourself, things that you can accomplish for sure in the now to reach your bigger goals.
That is definitely something that could be implemented today. And one of the things I think about too here is the consistent action over time. It's not what we can do. We often, I think it was Tony Robbins, he has a great quote, man. He says, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year. We underestimate what we can do in 10. Because if we continue the way we work, then what we can achieve is truly limitless. But it's an understanding that it requires all the little times that we think are meaningless, because they all add up to make that big thing. Was there a point for you that you can kind of turn back to where you said, okay, the following's growing, but maybe I just don't see the value in this right now, or I don't know if this is still worth as much time as it's taking. I got kids now. Did you question the process like that?
I had a few moments where I have missed out a lot on like spending time with my children, but I do make time in between to definitely get the time in. So I don't feel pity about myself, because this is the path I chose. But I do make that little bit of time. So when I do have that time with them, I just appreciate it that much more, and I hold true and dear to it. Bro, I just go straight forward with this. It's like it's meant to be. It's a calling. So every day I'm very excited to wake up and do this.
That's a great mindset to obviously have and be able to keep working through. Where can people go to learn more about you? Where can they go to find more about you?
Definitely my TikTok, PonyBoi 1.0. You can also reach me at Instagram, PonyBoi Official, and my Facebook, that's under my real name, Derek De La Fuente. And you can also catch me on Twitter. That one, just a warning, is a little bit more of a spicier site. So if you're into that part of it, then for sure, it's PonyBoi Official on Twitter.
Derek, what is one thing that unless people got to hang out with you or they knew you, they wouldn't know about you? What is one thing that only the people who are close to you know about you?
That I'm very goofy. I'm a very goofy person. I like to have a good time and laugh. Yeah, a lot of people think that I'm very serious a lot because of my voice when I record. And by the way, the voice thing, people are like, that's not your real voice. And I always get a laugh out of that, because when I record with the phone right here. So, and usually my kids are asleep, so I'm talking kind of low. They're like, why are you whispering? I'm not trying to like whisper and do ASMR videos. It's just because my children are usually sleeping, and I'm really close to the phone, so there's no point to me yelling. And like, the more quiet I talk, the deeper my voice gets. So for sure. So people would definitely know that I'm goofy, and I take jokes very well, and I love to joke around with people.
I love that. That's cool. Derek, before I let you go, what is the impact that you want to have on the world or the industry, content creation or fitness, when it's all said and done?
That's a very good question. My whole end goal is to save as many lives as I can, and let people know that going to the gym don't have to be a scary thing, and building yourself don't have to be a scary thing. Definitely want people to know too, to be yourself for sure. And hell yeah, you could dress in all black if you want and work out at the gym for sure. You can wear spike collars and whatnot. So just be your authentic self, be your original self, and enjoy life. Live it to the fullest, because it's a short one, you know what I mean? And it's definitely a trip, making the best of it, do your best, give your best, and you will get the best in return. Definitely be unique and get your workout on for sure. Let's grind.
Guys, one of the things I think about, like whenever I bring a guest on, is what can this guest do for you guys as an audience? And by being authentic, by being transparent, right, about what it was in their journey that caused bumps in the road, right, or made them really think about, is it being worth it, continuing to go that route? That gives you the tools. That gives you guys the knowledge. And Derek, thank you. It's been a pleasure, man. I really appreciate your time. Wish you nothing but the best here going forward.
Likewise, brother. And I definitely appreciate what you do too, for sure. You're awesome, man.
Thank you, dude. Take care, man.
You too, brother. Thank you.